Hey guys, Rodimus Prime here. It is Monday, June 13th, 2022. Today I figured we would start out and do something a little bit different that I haven't done for you guys before. Um, I'm a casual player when it comes to Call of Duty. Never really got too much into the pro scene. Dabbled in a little bit of online tournaments, but nothing ever too major as to the point of what we see nowadays. That being said, I've been seeing a lot of these tier lists for a long time. I've never actually made one myself, but I figured, why not dip my toes in and try one today? So what I've decided today is I'm going to rank the Call of Duty games from top to bottom, give my honest opinions on those. And as a casual, these are just my opinions. Doesn't make them fact, just makes my opinions. But I'm going to go ahead and do that for you guys today. So here we go, and let's check out these Call of Duty games ranked. So how this is going to work, guys, is I'm going to, first off, I'm going to slot in the games that I have never played into this tier list. So first of all, I got to take Call of Duty 3, and I've got to take Call of Duty 1 and slot them into there, just because those are two games that I never played. And then going forward off of that, because I never played those, we're going to go with the game that I just played, and I only had the ability to play the campaign, and that's Call of Duty 2. This is actually the first Call of Duty game that I ever played. For me, this is the one that kind of set it off. Not really in terms of like replayability, but just my first experience with Call of Duty, the whole aspect of running through fields, there being tanks. And it was different. It was definitely something I had never dealt with before. So for me, it was a very cool experience. With that being said, because it is that first experience and because it was just campaign, I can't put it into F tier. But what I will do is I will put it into D tier because I feel that it deserves that, with it being that first, Call of Duty game I played plus campaign, whatever, and it just makes sense to me to put it there. Next up, and I'm gonna try to go in order here from like oldest releases to new releases from what I can remember. Next up was World at War. World at War to me, it kind of gets a special place. It was the first Call of Duty that I can remember actually playing online. Um, and it was so crazy to be able to actually play on your console against other people all throughout the world. It was the the first Call of Duty that I can remember actually getting kill streaks, and there was only 3 of them back in the day. There was a spy plane, there was artillery fire, and there was dogs. And the streaks were 3, 5, and 7, and dogs were so strong. Because World at War is that first game that I played that had multiplayer, I spent hours playing that game, so much time playing World at War. And it also introduced the first ever zombies map. And the game itself was really fun. So with that being said, because it is a lot of firsts for me, and as I said, this is my tier list. I'm going to go ahead and put World at War up here at B tier. I think that's where it deserves it because we're still at this point in time where competitive isn't what it becomes. So next up for me, and I might be wrong on my timelines here. It could be reversed either or. Modern Warfare. Modern Warfare started up some big things in the world of Call of Duty. The original was one of those games where it just did so many things right and people speak so highly of it. And for me, I did play a lot of it, but I definitely wouldn't put it as my top tier. I'll put it high up there, but not my top tier. I'm gonna go ahead and put Modern Warfare 1 at A tier, and that's also including the remaster that they had too. So next up, after Modern Warfare, I want to say, and like I said, my times would be wrong because I'm getting older, and I'm sorry, I'm getting old in my old age. Would be Modern Warfare 2. This one's simple, really, really simple. It's S. It is S tier. Competitive was at an all-time high. I don't think you could find a single bad map in that game. Every gun was viable and usable and fun to use. It had some of the biggest population ever seen in a Call of Duty game. And it's one of those games I'm going to immediately put S tier. I think that's where it deserves to go. I think that's where it stays. No questions asked. S tier, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. Next up, we have Call of Duty Black Ops 1. And for me, this one is kind of special too. Um, this is the one where I really like put, I think, probably the most time in to a Call of Duty, with Black Ops 2 and MW3 being right in that category as well. And MW2. Those four would probably be my big times when I played Call of Duty. Black Ops 1 was the first game where I diamonded any or golded any. I can't remember if it was diamond or gold back in the day. I want to say it was diamond. Either with, like, for example, on the FAMAS, the Galil. Those were two guns that I did that with immediately because those were amazing guns in those games. And it was just so much fun to play. And it really expanded upon zombies. And the big reason why I have such a high place for Black Ops is it was the first introduction to like actual competitive Call of Duty for me, because yeah, I was a guy who was watching Halo 2 and Halo 3 on MLG for years and years and years, and then right towards the end of, I want to say, Halo 3 or the start of Halo Reach, they introduced Black Ops 1, and I remember watching my first tournament and just being like, what's this, what is this competitive, like, little group starting over here, like this Call of Duty thing. And seeing where it is now and where it's gone to just in general over the years is insane. But I kind of got off on a little bit of a tangent there. But if I had to place Black Ops 1, for me, I'm going to put Black Ops 1 in A tier. That's just where I really saw competitive Call of Duty start, like, for me. Next up, we have Call of Duty MW3. MW3 had my favorite gun, had legitimately my favorite version of my favorite gun. It was the ACR. The ACR in MW3 was godlike. It was disgusting. MW3 was one of my favorite Call of Duties I've ever played. Played a lot of time in that. It was really fun to play. I had a lot of fun playing it. So I think MW3, I think it deserves its position at, give me a second here if I'll grab it. I think we're going to put that in A tier. And understand, when I put these in A tier, these are not to, like, in order. These are just in the tier. I'm not saying that if Modern Warfare is better than Black Ops or Black Ops is better than MW3. I am just putting them in this tier. They are not in any order. They're just, that's where I think that they belong. Yeah. So with that being said, next up we have Black Ops 2. And Black Ops 2, this is another one of those games that I'm not going to say much. I'm just going to go ahead and do this. Oh, wrong game. Whoa, 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 whoa. My bad. It goes into S tier. It is one of those games that everybody universally loves. I think that you can't really say too much. That was a game that when I hear pros talk about it, they reference that as the best Call of Duty ever played. And for me, when you played pubs, you could pub stomp. You could drop 40, 50 kills. You can't do that anymore because of the adjusted skill matchmaking that they have now. The competitive skill ranks, so you play people that are closer to your rank. And it's one of those games you could still do that in. The gunplay felt great. The kill streaks felt good. In general, it was extremely competitive in the terms of the Call of Duty world. So I think that it deserves that S tier spot. I think Call of Duty Black Ops 2 and Modern Warfare 2 may be the only two games that I can put up there. I'm not trying to be rude. I'm being honest with that. All right, guys. Well, continuing on here with our tier list. Next up, we've got Call of Duty Ghosts. This one's an interesting one for me. I watched a lot of competitive in this. I didn't get to play it a lot. This game came out right as my 360 took a crap, and I ended up not having one for a better part of 2-3 years. So this was a game where I had to go over to a person's house and play it a lot. For me, I would definitely put Ghosts in that category where I loved competitive. I thought it was really, really good, but I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put Ghosts right in B tier here. I think that's where Ghost deserves to go. I think that that's honestly what it deserves because that's what I experienced. I didn't get to play it a lot, so that's where I'll kind of put it right now. So Black Ops 3 next. For me, this game is interesting. This was like, I wasn't too big on like the wall running and stuff, but I did enjoy the gunplay, and it was just in general a lot of fun to play. Because it wasn't super good, I couldn't do a lot of the wall running tricks that you would see. So for me, I'm gonna go ahead and put Black Ops 3. I'm gonna put it in like the B tier. Um, I think it's a very, very solid title. I think competitive was good. I think there was a lot of good content going on at the time. But as I said, it was one of those games that I wasn't that solid at. So for me personally, my experience, I'll put it as a B tier. But it was fun to play. It was fun to play. Next up, um, I'm gonna put Advanced Warfare. I'm just gonna put that C tier. Uh, I just wasn't the biggest fan of it. The whole jetpack era of COD. It's kind of one of those eras where I just wasn't the biggest fan of it, and I don't know. It's just one of those eras that I'm just more boots on the ground, I guess. I think that's more my style when it comes to Call of Duty. So I think that's why Advanced Warfare really wasn't my cup of tea. Um, a lot of good things about it, but there was also some negatives, so that's where I put that. F tier Infinite Warfare. Probably one of the worst Call of Duties ever made. Just not a fan. Didn't enjoy it. Didn't hardly play it. Didn't hardly watch the competitive. Just was not a fan of the game. So, Infinite Warfare, I'm just going to put that down there right now. I saw it and was like, yeah, you're going down here. Next up on the Call of Duty rank train, I'm going to go ahead and do World War II next. For me, I really hated the bullet registration on this game, even if it was boots on the ground. It just felt like so many steps backwards with Call of Duty. I know what they tried to do, but I was not a fan of this game. There'd be so many times where your bullets wouldn't do what they were supposed to do, and it just, oh, maybe I just couldn't shoot straight. I don't know, but I'm not a fan. That's gonna go in F tier. That's gonna go in F tier. I gotta put it there. I'm sorry. It's just not good. It's just not a good Call of Duty. And like I said, that's my opinion. Black Ops 4, simply because it really started the whole Warzone thing and really what it did. And I'm always about like if a game like actually does something that changes up its overall genre, it gets a lot of credit for that. I think Blackout doing what it did, I think gunplaying being what it is, I think the game as a whole, even with it having that futuristic feel, I think it still deserves a spot up in these higher tiers. And because it did introduce Blackout, because that was kind of new, I'm gonna put it at the end of A tier. And if I had to say that there was one in the bottom of A tier, it'd probably be Black Ops 4. Next up, we have Call of Duty Modern Warfare. This one's tough because I wasn't the biggest fan of multiplayer. I mean, it was good, but like, it was all right, I guess. It did introduce Warzone, which that was a big thing for Call of Duty. I know that people really, really like that. So for me, I'm gonna put it C tier, and I didn't like the multiplayer, but I think it did a good job with introducing Warzone. I think they did that well. I didn't play a whole lot of Cold War. I didn't really play a whole lot of it. It's kind of one of those games that I played like 2 seasons of, and I was kind of up and I was kind of down, and for that reason, I'm gonna put it at the probably the C tier. Honestly, C tier seems like a place to put it with Modern Warfare, like middle of the road. It's all right. And then Vanguard. Now, I have not played a single minute of Vanguard. I've avoided it like the plague. I've watched enough of competitive to really get an understanding of what's going on, like enough hours and hours of gameplay, reviewing stuff. And I've looked at this game up and down. To me, it's going in D tier. And I'll explain to you why I put a D tier. The game is wildly inconsistent. Um, the spawns are whack. there's no definitive team that is constantly running people over, and I think that has a lot to do with how the game is set up. And I think that while there is a lot of good about it, I don't like tac sprint, and I think a lot of people don't like tac sprint. And I think that's that coupled with like I said, some spawn problems, and just in general, how some of these maps are set up. That's why I put it at D tier. But this is my tier list, guys. As I said, this is a person who never really got big in the Call of Duty competitive community, but wanted to do a tier list based upon my experiences, what I played, 2 games I never played. As I said, I tried to be as fair and reasonable as I could, looking at what each game contributed to the Call of Duty franchise as a whole. If it added something new, what was its rapport in the community, how the population numbers were. And I think that this is a pretty fair tier list. But all right, guys, that's going to do it for me. Thank you so much for watching. As always, the opinions stated in this video are my own, so you don't gotta agree with them, but I appreciate you sitting through the entirety of the video. Before you go, if you could do me just one more solid favor, if you could please like and subscribe, I would really, really appreciate that. And as always, I will see you all tomorrow.